Perhaps the greatest disaster of all is one that man has created himself. If nature doesn't destroy the environment, it is very possible that the human being will.
It's been less than 48 hours since a 7.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the quaint town of Hawkins.
Like every natural disaster, they come back strong.
Emergency after Hurricane Helene, the mounting death toll, at least 182 lives lost.
In 2024, Hurricane Helene devastated communities across the southeastern United States, leaving thousands homeless and causing billions in damages. Amidst the chaos, federal aid was scarce, and survivors struggled to rebuild their lives. Imagine facing a disaster like this, but without federal support. This could become the new reality under Project 2025, a plan that could fundamentally alter how emergency management works in the United States. Project 2025 is a strategic plan developed by conservative organizations aiming to reshape federal emergency management by reducing the roles of agencies like FEMA and NOAA. The initiative proposes shifting disaster response responsibilities to state and local governments, fundamentally altering how we prepare for and respond to emergencies. If implemented, it could mean less federal oversight and funding during natural disasters, forcing states to handle the aftermath on their own. Our current emergency management systems are already facing significant challenges. Many agencies still rely on outdated technology, which limits effective communication and coordination during crises. Slow response times often mean the difference between life and death, as delayed mobilization of resources can lead to increased casualties and property loss. Funding constraints are another major issue. Limited budgets mean inadequate preparedness and weakened response capabilities. On top of this, fragmented efforts among federal, state, and local agencies create confusion and inefficiencies when every second counts. Project 2025 proposes several key changes to address these issues, but not all of them are reassuring. The plan emphasizes decentralization, transferring disaster response responsibilities from federal agencies to state and local governments. In theory, this promotes localized decision-making and quicker response times. However, critics argue that many state and local governments lack the funding and infrastructure to handle large-scale disasters independently. Privatization is another core element of the plan, encouraging private sector involvement in areas such as flood insurance and disaster relief. This aims to reduce federal expenditure, but it could also make essential services more expensive and less accessible for vulnerable communities. Budget reallocation is also on the table. Federal funding for disaster relief would be reduced and shifted toward other national priorities, raising concerns about how communities will recover after major disasters. Critics warn that these changes could have severe and lasting consequences. Imagine a scenario where a major hurricane strikes the Gulf Coast, but FEMA's involvement is minimal. Without federal resources and coordination, recovery efforts could be delayed for weeks or even months. Similar concerns apply to other disasters, including wildfires, earthquakes, and flooding. Reducing FEMA's role and privatizing services like the National Weather Service could impair disaster preparedness and response, potentially leading to increased casualties and greater long-term damage. While Project 2025 aims to make disaster response more efficient and cost-effective, the potential risks cannot be ignored. Shifting the burden to state and local governments might work for smaller-scale emergencies, but large-scale disasters require coordinated national efforts. Weakening federal support could leave communities more vulnerable than ever before. What do you think about Project 2025? Do you believe shifting emergency management to state and local governments will improve disaster response or create new vulnerabilities? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our other videos on emergency management innovations.